The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete that. He's crazy.
Side by side, Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
We're back for Saturday night short track racing in the USA. Donnie Moore is back. The fun is back. The Outlaw Modifieds are back and ready to break down the saloon door. from the Pine Tree State, hello, and welcome to another edition of the Bootleg Racing League on the Global Sim Racing Channel and iRacing Live. Sean Ambrose here along with Stephen Parks high up in the press box to bring you all of the action tonight. In the truck is the hardest working man in Sim Motorsports Broadcasting, the one and only Joe Beak, twisting and tweaking the dials for us tonight. And the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard, is our much sought after camera guru. Stephen, 2 weeks ago, Soup and Scala got off the season to a really big start when Soup handpicked the winner, Mr. Donnie Moore. Well, tonight, Stephen will have to come from deep in the field for another victory, but first, all these drivers have to tackle Oxford Plains Speedway.
Yeah, Sean, tonight we are at Oxford Plains Speedway, a 3/8 mile track with 9 degrees of banking around all the corners. Overshoot the corner, you'll go over the hill. Brake too much and you'll hit the curb. But for more on that, let's take a ride around in the GSRC SK Modified.
Hello, I'm James Merhula in the Global Sim Racing Channel Modified. I'm going to take you for a lap around the Oxford Plains Speedway. This is a tricky little 3/8 mile speedway. Something that's going to be very interesting here is how the track drives. You never really are going straight here. You just turn a little bit less when you get onto the straightaways. You're also going to have that curb down there on the bottom, just looking to get the car upset as well. And look, we don't have outside retaining walls out here either, so even though that the wall won't be as much of a danger, you do not want to go flying over that embankment at a high rate of speed. Keeping the car low and trying to get a good run off of the corners and try and duck down below your competition will be key to try and making up positions here. But we might see a good chrome bumper, and those are your laps around the Oxford Plains Speedway.
Now that is a recorded lap around Oxford Plains Speedway, but to get an idea what the track is like right now, let's talk to newcomer Brandon Limecooler, driver of the number 61 SK Modified. Brandon, welcome to the booth, my friend. How you doing? Oh, Brandon, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Brandon, welcome to the league. I know you got to run at this a couple weeks ago. Going to be a lot of fun here tonight at Oxford Plains. What's it like on the track right now? I know it's a little cloudy out there, only about 85 degrees on track, but what's it really feel like from the car?
Right now, it's actually feeling pretty good. There's some grip on the track. Surprisingly, from our truck race, it was really loose on that last race. So I'm looking forward to some really tight, exciting racing here.
Well, I got to talk to you a little bit earlier. You had mentioned that your father was a race car driver back in the day.
Yeah, he ran modifieds at a track here in Kansas City. It's actually out of Odessa, Missouri, called I-70 Speedway. He ran modifieds and late models there.
Yeah, well, certainly you carry on that tradition here on iRacing, running the SK Modifieds. We're looking forward to watching you get around here tonight. How do you like your chances?
I'm going to try to go top 10, shoot for a top 5.
All right, buddy, go get him. I'm going to let you get back in the car. We appreciate you coming in and talking to us there for a moment, all right?
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right, and our best to Brandon Limecooler tonight as he embarks on, what's going to be 100 laps tonight. But, Stephen, last week, Donnie Moore climbed the mountain for a big victory. It had been a while. The rumors of his demise had been severely over-exaggerated. The number 26 gets the summer season off to an excellent start in the points championship.
Yeah, Sean, let's talk about those points, the points championship right now. These guys did have a week off last Saturday due to Independence Day in the U.S., so we'll go back to round 1 on June 24th to find our standings tonight. Donnie Moore would come away with a win at Langley, but it wouldn't come easy, starting in 4th, battling all night long to start the season off on a high note. Matt Levenshire put the pressure on Donnie Moore late in the race, but wouldn't have enough to pull off a late race upset. Matt ran through the field in round 1, starting in 8th, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's able to make a run again here tonight.
Well, sir, go ahead.
Then we go to third, J.R. Shepherd. Winner of the spring season, will look to continue his success in the modified series. Shepherd was able to bring home a third place finish last week after starting in row 4 with Matt Leventure. And then in fourth, we do have David Loomis. Won't have the bonus of starting on the pole tonight, so we'll see how David is able to run through traffic a little more tonight after his fourth place finish at Langley. And John Hine started at the back of the field and slowly moved towards the front. Can he make it 2 in a row after finishing 5th in round 1?
Well, Stephen, we've introduced the track. We've talked to a new driver here in the league. We reviewed the point standings, and now let's talk a little bit about the details of the race today. What do we got going on?
Yeah, tonight we do have the SK Modifieds. They will have a fixed setup, and we are going to invert the top 10. This is a 100-lap race tonight. They do have one fast repair, 100% fuel, but you cannot take tires during the race. These guys will not have an incident cap, and they will restart double file with a lucky dog.
That's right, and that lucky dog will be in play, the inverting the grid, the top 10. Well, that's going to put Lucas Stinziano, our 10th place finisher from last week, that is going to put him on the pole tonight, representing Hispano-America. The number 27 is here and will be your pole setter when we get started. So practice still going on, still a bit of practice left, but I can tell you we're only 2 races into this season. We've got a lot of new faces. We've got Dustin Powers and Brandon Limecooler, who we're already spoken to. JJ Garrett, the Indiana driver. John Hine, who was new to us last season and is back with us. So a lot of new faces. I did hear that, unfortunately, Matt Leventure not going to be here tonight, but we did have a couple races earlier. We had the street stocks that ran for 50 laps, and Mike Holloway was the big winner in that race, and congratulations to him. It was a pretty good race, actually. Only just a few caution flags in that one. This track, certainly easy to run off and rack up a little bit of damage. Certainly, I think we'll have enough modifieds that could be an issue. Then they ran the trucks. Now, we made this observation, Stephen, during the pre-race while we were getting ready and we were watching the truck race. The trucks almost seemed a little bit overpowered for the old Oxford Plains Speedway. What did you think about that?
Yeah, it definitely looked tough out there. Those guys were not really even being able to get into the throttle that much before they were re-entering a corner.
Yeah, it really seemed like they had trouble finding a good run out of the trucks, a good, solid, consistent run. And, well, that resulted in several caution flags. But J.R. Shepherd did find the win. So J.R. Shepherd getting back to his winning ways here at Oxford Plains Speedway this evening in the trucks. They ran 60 laps in the trucks. And, of course, tonight in the SK Modifieds, they will be running 100 laps. No tires, as you mentioned. That in itself could be a challenge. There's not a lot of banking here. And I think, not memory, but laps on this track tell me that this is a bit of a cheese grater out there, and 100 laps is going to be a little bit of a challenge on these tires if you're pushing real hard.
Yeah, really, anytime you have that low degree of banking in the corners, it's going to make it real tough on those tires. And, being able to save them, that's going to be the big key here. These guys aren't allowed to change tires tonight. So if you can save them, you have a shot at winning.
Now, listen, a couple of important notes here. The second annual Champions Shootout is September 23rd. They've got details at their website. That's bootlegracingleague.com. You can check it out there. Also, big announcement, the BRL Grand National Series will be making its return on October 20th. They've also put the details up on the website. You want to check that out. Coming in the winter, I believe it's going to be October through March. The Grand National Series will happen on Friday night, so if you're looking for a little Friday night action, go to bootlegracingleague.com and check that out. The Saturday lineup, like I said, they've already run this evening, 7 o'clock. They always run the street stocks. They do have a waiting list right now for that. They do have a waiting list for the Pro Truck Series. But you do want to check out the website, get all the information about it, because every Saturday night they're racing here in the Bootleg Racing League. And it's a pretty good time, and it's a good tight-knit group. And they've got, like I said, a few new drivers in. It's a good time to get on board with the Bootleg Racing League. Steven, looking here at the times from practice, it's J.R. Shepard. Looks to be the man to beat right now, a best of a 14.6. John Hine behind him by about a tenth of a second with a 14.7.
You know, I mentioned it going through the championship points earlier. I think J.R. Shepard is going to be the guy to beat. He went through traffic last week to try to get up and get a top 5 finish. I think he'll be able to pull it off tonight.
Well, I tell you what, that's not a bad pick. You know, looking at these practice times, I actually see Lucas Denziano sitting there 4th on the tree right now, and not a bad place to be. He is going to start from the pole, but boy, Donnie Moore certainly drove a hot race last week, and you know, it could be the season of Moore. It could be time for him to come back in classic fashion. It had been a while since he'd picked up a win a couple weeks ago, and he's finally got that off, that 800-pound gorilla off of his back, and might be time to spread the wings and do it again. So he's going to have to come from the deepest part of the field to do it. But you know what? Maybe Donnie's, like I said, got a little special magic working for him. Just 2.5 minutes left in practice now. Another driver who was really strong here this evening early in the street stocks was Lowell Jewell. In fact, I'm gonna refer more to the street stock race this evening than the truck race, because I think the truck race at this point, we both kind of surmised that was probably a little bit of a throwaway. The street stock race, though, was a good one, and Lowell Jewell chased for the lead there late on Holloway, and faded just a little bit, wound up spinning, getting shuffled back several spots. There were just a couple laps to go, but Lowell Jewell, with a good solid run tonight, if he's got that modified hooked up, this could be a good run for him here this evening as well. So look out for Lowell. Going to have a decent field. Looks like about 13 cars right now, and drivers representing several clubs from the United States, and of course Lucas Denziano being a Hispano-America driver. So we're certainly looking forward to seeing him start on the pole this evening. And I know you already got a pick, but what do you think the key to getting this race started is going to be, Steven?
It's going to be saving your tires and obviously not trying to push that car too much. We're seeing these guys put in these fast times right now, but like you were saying, Lowell Jewell might be able to pull one off, because those fast times aren't going to matter when it comes to the race. These guys are going to be trying to save those tires for as long as they can, and if you're pushing, trying to get 14.6 lap times every lap you take, you could burn them up pretty quick and be out by the end of the race.
Another driver who's not on track practicing right now, and I didn't talk much about, and that's Phil Temples. Now, he was really, really hot towards the end of last season. He saw Victory Lane and seemed to have that program coming together. Phil not showing much here early in practice, about 5th on the board, but boy, let's see where he starts and what kind of run he could put in this evening. Phil Temples, the number 19, could be a car to watch. And we are just about to wrap up practice here. 13 SK Modifieds here in the Bootleg Racing League. This is going to be a fun one for 100 laps with 13 cars. I think we might get a good run out of these guys. I think tires are going to be the key, like you said, Steven. This track's so tough. You know what we haven't talked about is we watched that one car go off track. The lack of any real wall around the outside. Anybody watching this for the first time this evening on iRacing Live or even on YouTube may notice that, hey, this track maybe lacks a little bit of a wall. It's time to throw that grid up, though, and let's Look where everybody's at. There we go. Lucas Stinziano going to start on the front row with Brian Barden.
Mike Holloway will start in the third position tonight, and Lowell Jewell will start fourth.
Row 3 going to be John Hine and David Loomis.
Row 4 will be J.R. Shepard and Danny Moore.
All right, row 5, Brandon Limecooler and Dustin Powers.
Row 6 tonight will be J.J. Garrett and Philip Temples.
All right, John Holcomb going to be at the back of this field, starts 13th this evening. All eyes on Lucas Stinziano, though, as we get this started. I was on my rant about the lack of walls here. That is going to be something to watch, because if you get off the track surface, you could travel for just a while, not bring out a caution flag. Then you've got to make your way back up on track. That can be tricky at best. They are side by side. They're ready to go. The Ford Mustang leading him back around one more time. It does not take long to get around here.
You know, something that may be interesting too, if these guys get a lot of off tracks, that dirt gets kicked up onto the track. It's going to make a slick surface out there.
All right, start's going to be up to Lucas Stinziano. The lights are out. The Mustang getting ready to pull off. It is away. The number 27 is on the loud pedal, and he is off to a screaming start across the line, down into 1. Stinziano with a great jump there. And it leaves Brian Barton and Mike Holloway side by side, wheel to wheel, coming across the back into turn 3 and through 4. It's still Lucas Stinziano going to complete lap 1, your leader. Boy, Lucas again done a really good job getting started. All the action going on behind him. And it is a battle indeed. But right now, Mike Holloway getting away from John Hine. There's J.R. Shepard back there lurking already up to 4th place, up 3 spots on the start of this race.
Yeah, Brian Barden gets shuffled from 2nd back to 5th. He was stuck on that outside line, finally finds his place in line and gets down to the bottom.
Yeah, Lowell Jewell, another one of those cars stuck out on the outside, and man, he can't get anything going. He is dropping like a rock. Now he's got a spot to get in there, and he does. He drops in line in front of J.J. Garrett.
And we got a spinner in the back. Not sure who it is quite yet.
Oh, it's Phil
Looks
Temples.
like Philip Temples involved.
Yeah, and boy, Limecooler was also involved in that. And there's the yellow flag finally. Wow.
Oh, in contact with the leader.
Not good. Ouch. Not sure what happened there. I'm trying to go back up and find it. Catch it here on the replay. There's the spinning Philip Temples right there. Limecooler right up in front of him. He gets a little bit of help getting around. Wow. Now let's look at it again. This is on board with Limecooler. That's Phil Temples right in front of him. We'll try and see exactly where it starts. It's going down into 1 here. And a little bit of a nudge, and that's going to get Phil around, and it's also going to break the rear end on Limecooler. Well, we got a little bit of a run to get started there, and it all broke loose. So what was the contact you saw there, Steven?
At the very end of that spin there for Limecooler, he was trying to get it back on the track, and I don't know if he noticed that Lucas Stinziano was coming back on, or was coming back around. It looked like he made a little bit of contact with the 27. Doesn't look like much damage though.
We'll see if we can look at that, but Stinziano, I'm looking at the car right now. It looks to be okay. Let's see on the replay here. He's coming back around. Here's the pace car coming out. Yeah, we'll try one more time at it as we're looking for that here. I can tell you that everybody else is still on track. Limecooler had to come in and take a pit. He's back out. He'll get the lucky dog the next time there's a caution flag. Okay, maybe we've got it right here as we're still looking here on the replay where he just... Okay, here we go. Yeah. Oh, that was really close. You know what? I think he might have got a little bit of that Nerf bar, but I don't think it's going to affect the car. It does look good. They are lining back up side by side. It is time to go racing once again. No worries here. I'd say everything looks pretty good at this point. As we get ready to get restarted, Lucas Stinziano is still going to be your leader. And the green flag is away. Stinziano again gets a nice jump. And here we go. Stinziano barreling down into turn 1, out of turn 2. Nice run. Got that car really stuck down there on the bottom. Here comes John Hine in a number 75. Mike Holloway up on the outside. Several drivers still caught up there. J.R. Shepard looking to the bottom. Already slotting in there, leaving Mike Holloway in the dust. Brian Barden having to back out of it, not hitting Holloway. Really close. There's Donnie Moore pushing already. Here comes Donnie Moore up 2 spots early. Oh, somebody around Mike Holloway. Who was that around? I think it was Brian Barden.
Yeah, and a bunch of cars involved in that one.
Several.
We'll have to take a look to see who was all involved and what caused that one here tonight.
I think I think I know what happened. It looked like there was a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact right there with Barden. Mike Holloway, right front, catches left rear, and then Donnie Moore gets wedged in the middle. Everybody else behind taking evasive action to get through. Phil Temples gets by down there at the bottom of 19. He already had his share of trouble, didn't need any more. It's right on board with the boss here, Lowell Jewell. And there's the smoke, and Lowell right in the middle of that, and he does a great job of getting out of the way. Off to the right, and power's on. Well, Mike Holloway going to have to take a pit after that. He's still in there. Looks like Brandon Limecooler will now get that wave by and get back on the lead lap. Holloway, though, still sitting down on the pit lane and not sure why. Did he tow in, guys?
Yeah, I believe he did tow into the pits.
Okay, so then that's why he has still finds himself sitting there, and I'm sure he'll get back out on the track here in just a moment. He is going to lose several laps. I'm sure they'll do their best to get him back on the lead lap when we get another caution, if we get another one. Now, we're off to a little bit of a rough start, but you know what? That's all right. We've got several cars that have moved up through the field, though. John Hine is an early mover. J.R. Shepard, Donnie Moore, J.J. Garrett up 6 spots, already up into the top 5. So, you know what? We've got some movement going on here early. This is a bit of decent start.
Yeah, Limecooler just got his wave around, too. He's getting back in line. But to fill you more in on Mike Holloway, when that wreck happened, he was up on top of the corner, went off track, went into the grass, and towed it to pit road. So I'm not sure if he is going to park it for the night or not, but we still have Lucas Stinziano up front leading this thing.
Yeah, and they're lining back up side by side, getting ready to go here. The Ford Mustang pace car leading them around, getting through the turn. And on to another turn. Now listen, this track right here is a constant turn left job here. This is there's really not much chance to straighten out. Pace car is in. Here we go. The green is out. Stinziano again with a great jump. Man, he has really got a knack for the restarts. Like J.R. Shepard shooting it up into the bottom there. Just inside of John Hine. Great move by J.R. Here comes J.R. Whoa. He's just throwing it in there. Hashtag send it. Oh, come on, J.R. Shepard. Man. Oh, and we
got another wreck going on. It looks like Dustin Powers involved.
Dustin Powers and Lowell Jewell, and boy, Lowell Jewell gets a little bit of tap from behind there by the 25 of Dustin Powers, and then it just all goes bad. Oh boy, Phil Temples again, escapes peril by just getting by on the outside. Don't think he actually made contact. I think we're going to go on board with him now. Yeah, we're on board with Philip Temples. You'll see this action up in front of him. There's the 25 and Dustin Powers and Gold Jewel. That's where the contact happens, and Phil just gets right out of the way. Another lucky break for Philip Temples after finding trouble in that very first incident of the night.
And I think we're finding out really quickly here, you know, this is no different than short track racing and any other vehicle here. You know, you have a checkup in front of you and you got nowhere to go. You're going to go right into the back of that car in front of you.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the modified. We see it far too often. The reaction time, you don't get many chances when you're traveling so closely. You have to have lightning quick reflexes, and anything less than that will find you in trouble. Phil Temples, again, a really, really good example of wreck avoidance right there. But, you know, we talk about this field right now. Lucas Denziano has been great on the restarts, but look who's going to be there restarting with him on the outside. It's J.R. Shepard now is in this thing. He's moved all the way up through the field, now up 5 spots. John Hines slid back to 3rd, and you got Donnie Moore there in 4th. So the front 4 to get this race started are going to be pretty dicey. Lucas Denziano, you know, best he can do is just, again, get a great jump. But, well, he's got the master of the restart going to start on that front row with him in J.R. Shepard.
You know, that Highline has been struggling on the starts here tonight. And you got to wonder if John Hine is pretty happy that he dropped back to 3rd, because he's going to get a start on the inside run, or inside line, may get a run on J.R. Shepard. But I'm interested to see if J.R. Shepard finds a way to make it work.
Now, he's going to have to outguess Denziano, or try to cross him over when they get out of that second turn. We'll see. Again, Denziano's been really, really good on the restarts this evening. And I'll tell you what, he gets another good restart here. JR could have his work cut out for him. But the fact that he's gotten so far up already, it's an early indication that, well, things may be going his way already. They are lining back up side by side here. The Ford Mustang pace car bringing them around. It'll get ready to peel off, and we are green again. Lucas Denziano does exactly that. Gets another great jump, but here comes J.R. Shepard. He's able to slot down in front of John Hine.
Yeah, what a jump. What a jump by Lucas Denziano. And that actually gave a lot of distance for J.R. Shepard to kind of work behind him and put the pressure on him, as right now we're seeing that gap close really quickly. We're going to see J.R. Shepard try to make a pass for the lead here shortly.
Yeah, here he goes. I'm watching back here through the field. John Holcomb just not getting a whole lot of love. It took him forever to get in line, but the whole field, line to stern right now as we make our way around. Into turn 4, out of turn 4. Here we go. Denziano still in command of this race.
A little bit of bump and run action right behind them. That is John Hine and J.J. Garrett.
Here comes Garrett. Been pretty quiet so far, but not anymore. That Skull Bandit machine is moving. Moving also is Donnie Moore just behind John Hine, starting to look pretty aggressive back there.
It's pretty impressive tonight, the guys that have moved from the back to the front. We have seen J.J. Garrett gain 8 spots tonight.
Philip Temple's back here trying to get around David Loomis. Put a lot of pressure on him. Loomis gets a little bit of the curb. Philip Temple's got to check up some there behind him. Phil starting to get a little frustrated. Going to try and find a way to get around Loomis. Kind of sliding up to the top. Philip Temple's going to look to the inside here. Sliding. Phil's trying to catch it. Ooh, had a bit of a 4-wheel drift going there, and he's sliding up the track again here. Here comes Holcomb just behind, putting the pressure on.
And right in front of them, you had Donnie Moore making the pass on John Hine.
Let's get up the front, because I think J.R. Shepard is trying to pull off a pass here. I saw him right up on the bumper, almost gave him with a chrome horn. And JR doesn't use the chrome horn a lot, but if he feels like he's being held up, you bet he's going to put it in there. Denziano really having a solid drive here. start this race off. He's keeping it down on the bottom. That's what you got to do. He's protecting his line. JR's got nothing up top right now to get him.
And it may be just what I'm seeing here, but it looks like maybe Lucas Stenciano is starting to run some slower laps. We're seeing the rest of the pack really start to catch up to him now.
Yeah, well, boy, JJ Garrett is right there, and he is now putting a lot of pressure on JR Shepherd. So Shepherd right now probably thinking, hey, you know what? I got to dispose of Stenciano here. I got to find a way to get around him because this pressure from behind by Garrett is intense. He's all over him.
Yeah, and even if you look behind Garrett, Donnie Moore's trying to get into that mix as well. We're seeing him get inch closer and closer to that front pack.
And listen, JR has won a lot of races in this league, and he's a very, very patient guy, and he's also one of the true gentlemen here. But I start to just get the feeling a little bit that he is feeling just a bit held up. A little bit of pressure on Stenciano there. There he goes, making that move to the outside. JJ Garrett wastes no time filling that spot left by JR. JR is going to bring the fight, though. Here we go. Lucas is going to have to start winning these.
It looks like JR is getting that run on the high side, something we haven't seen all race long here tonight.
Oh, he's out so wide right there, though. That's really risky up there. There's not a lot of grip up on that side of the track. And there he goes across the line. Give it to JR Shepherd. Stenciano fighting back down there on the bottom. JR running really, really wide. Track runs off and down the hill there. JR having a lot of trouble. The push in the center is really bad.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing JR Shepherd try to get as much run off the corners as he can. He's trying to make the clear on Lucas Stenciano, but I don't know if he can do it on that high side, to be honest.
JR just, Stenciano got really slowed down on the exit. Now JR is going to drop down and take command of this race. It belongs to JR Shepherd now. He pulled that off all the way from the outside. JJ Garrett, another impatient driver looking to get around Stenciano. Stenciano held him off as long as he could. Now gets a tap there from JJ Garrett. JJ got Donnie Moore and Philip Temples checked up behind him. Those two side by side. Philip Temples trying to pull off this move on the top side.
Yeah, these guys are starting to find success up there. We're starting to see Lucas Stenciano slow down, and we're seeing the whole pack bunch up now. And you got to wonder how many guys decide to try to make that pass on the high side before there's a checkup and possibly an incident going into a corner.
Boy, JJ Garrett got to be very, very careful here because he keeps dropping those wheels down on that curb, and that keeps upsetting the car. He keeps losing that momentum, and it's also checking up Donnie Moore, Philip Temples behind him. Every time he starts to lose it and has to gather that car up, they have to slow down just a bit. Got to be careful. Don't want to get collected in his mess. JJ seems to be back in his rhythm. But JR Shepherd right up where he, well, let's face it, he's right up there where he belongs in the lead, and now starting to pull away. About 3/4 of a second ahead. And Lucas Stenciano still holding on to second place. Podium still here at stake as we reach the halfway point, Stephen.
You know, you were seeing JJ Garrett kind of, it looks like he's trying to get a little bit aggressive and make the move on Lucas Stenciano. But you got to start to wonder, as he hits the curve, he's going to spin it. That was, I believe, Donnie Moore making contact with him. Yep. But and they're going to keep it green.
No yellow flag there. But Garrett gets those wheels down on the curb, and he pays. The car gets out of shape. Donnie really had nowhere to go. And, well, that's going to really, really shuffle him back. That's going to cost him a lot. It shuffles him all the way to the back of the pack. Donnie Moore up to third. Philip Temple still riding on board with him. John Holcomb now up to fifth. He's up 8 spots. Haven't talked about John at all. The Lawrence Towing SK Modified. John start now up into a top 5 spot. Start thinking about a podium. It's right up in front of him.
And just before that spin by JJ Garrett, I was going to mention is Donnie Moore starting to get impatient. But now you got to start to wonder, is Philip Temples getting impatient? He's looking every which way trying to make the pass right now on Donnie Moore.
You know, I talked about Philip Temples in the pre-race. He is definitely a driver who is, on the move up. That trend started last season. It's continued on. He can get around Donnie Moore here and get himself in a podium spot. Lucas Tiziano's going to have to feel worried about that, but he loses out a little bit there. Now he starts to get back on it. He's trying to find a run from the center. I don't know if that's going to work, but right there he's able to close it up on Donnie Moore. You can see what he's doing there a little bit.
Yeah, it's looking like he is trying to take a wide entry and pinch it down coming out of the corner, trying to get underneath Donnie Moore. Not sure if that's going to quite work out as we are past halfway and these tires have started to wear out. So it'll be interesting to see if that strategy does work out for him. But right now, Donnie Moore is pulling away from him.
All right. Let's do just a quick rundown here real quick. So J.R. Shepherd, we know he's got the lead right now, and he's pulling it away. He's opening up second and a half. Lucas Tiziano still holding on to second place and actually doing it real well right now. And everybody else behind. They've got Donnie Moore sitting there in third, being chased by Philip Temples in fourth. John Holcomb now in this mix, up 8 spots to fifth. It's John Hine, one of the big losers right now. Hine dropped all the way back, now in the 6th spot. And you know what? David Loomis is charging, trying to take that spot away from him there from 7th. Now Lowell Jewell has had a bit of a tough race today. He's back to 8th. Still digging, but back to 8th, and a lot to make up right now. Brendan Limecooler right where he started there in 9th. Dustin Powers in 10th, and J.J. Garrett currently 6th. In 11th, Brian Barton and Mike Holloway have taken those cars behind the wall for the evening and are done.
You know, we talked about Brendan Limecooler earlier in the pre-race show, and it looked like he was pretty competitive to start this race here tonight. You got to wonder if that spin is sticking on his mind, because he has basically backed off from the pack, kind of running by himself right now.
Well, that's tough sledding indeed. But J.J. Garrett really, again, got those curves earlier that upset his car. He's found his way all the way to the back, and bad news for J.J. is right now is that, he's getting caught by our leader, J.R. Shepherd, who's going to try and put him another lap down here at this point. So this battle behind, though, a good one. Lucas Tiziano still hanging on to second place, but Donnie Moore is starting to reel him in just a little bit every lap. It's not tenths of a second. It's more like just a few feet every lap, but he is starting to reel him in. You see this on screen. It won't be long here before Donnie Moore is knocking at the door of Lucas Tiziano, asking, "Can I come by, sir? Please, do you mind if I pass?"
Yeah, we're seeing Donnie Moore pull that car up to the rear bumper of Lucas Tiziano every chance he gets in the corner. And do we see another bump and run to try to make a pass?
No, boy, Donnie Moore's there. All right, so just to break from the action here real quick. So the Lionheart IndyCar Series, a regular here on Wednesday nights on the Global Sim Racing Channel and iRacing Live. All those boys from the league are at Iowa Speedway right now. They're in the middle of a cornfield. The ARCA race is under caution, and they are watching the Bootleg Racing League race, giving a shout-out to everyone here. Happy to hear from you guys, and glad to hear everything is going good in the corn there. Keep Dan out of it, please. All right, here we go. Donnie Moore making that move on Tiziano. He's got right up to the bumper of him now. And, boy, the chrome horn, there it is.
A little bit of contact there.
One knock, just one knock. And he might be knocking again. The pressure is on. Luke is doing everything he can to hang on. He is up on the wheel right now, working it.
And it looked like there was a little bit of contact behind them. I believe it was John Hine who got a bump and pushed up the track. Maybe it was Philip Temples, as he's now back in 6th. Looked like he got bumped up the track and sent on his way back to 6th.
Well, still the podium still very, very much undecided here. I still think John Holcomb's got an outside chance to attack. I think he's waiting on what's going to happen here between Stinziano and Donnie Moore, and going to try and pick up the pieces when it's done. This time by, we're going to have 25 laps to go.
And yeah, we are seeing this battle for second and third heat up, as we are going to see John Holcomb try to get into that mix. He is starting to inch his way closer.
Donnie's still right there, and look at that. I mean, it's like a chain race. Oh, Donnie slips up coming off the turn. Ooh, boy, that slip really cost him. Oh, like I said, Holcomb right there to pick up the pieces. Now it's Donnie Moore having to fend off Holcomb. John Hine has gone nowhere. Right back there, and Phil Temple still behind John Hine. Phil not able to find anything for him. On board with Holcomb here. Giving good chase, but nothing for Donnie. Nothing for Lucas Stinziano right now either. Second place is still his. They can't take it away from him.
You got to start to wonder if Donnie Moore's thinking about that old short track rule. 1 bump, hey, I'm here. 2 bump, get out of the way. 3 bump, you're leaving here.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that before. Exactly. We got 1 knock under the belt, and it's time to knock again. And, well, come knocking a 3rd time, forget it. But, man, I don't know. Lucas really seems to be dialed in right now in the late stages of this race. 20 laps to go this time by. Lucas Stinziano holding on to this podium spot. Anything can happen here. Hate to see a caution right now. It's the last thing in the world J.R. Shepherd or Lucas Stinziano want right now. Phil Temple's trying to get a position there. He's finally pulling us off on John Hine, Steven.
Yeah, John Hine stuck to the bottom side, and we are going to see a pass on the high side. That is Phil Temples getting into the top 5.
Oh boy, this could be exciting. He's got time. He's definitely in striking distance, and boy, John Holcomb just in front of him. Phil Temple's getting busy here late. It's time to boogie, baby.
Yeah, we're getting near the end here, and we're starting to see that distance once again between Lucas Stinziano and Donnie Moore slowly evaporate. Donnie Moore is getting closer every lap. Are we going to see another push for second?
Boy, Donnie gets a big run there through the center of the turn. And Lucas really got to be driving out of his mirror right now. Maybe not. You know what? The best thing for Lucas is to not drive out of his mirror. Keep focusing on the track in front of him. Just go, go, go. But Donnie really, really pressing.
Yeah, one thing I have always heard from guys who are spotting is they're telling their drivers, do not look in that mirror. Just keep looking ahead. Keep focusing on your points. You'll beat them if you do that.
Here's Donnie. There he is. Ooh. You keep it knocking, but you can't come in. He's right there. Oh, man, Lucas Stinziano having the drive of his Outlaw modified career right now, but Donnie pressing the issue. Lucas gets up on the curb there, almost upsets the car. Donnie looking to the inside. Here we go. He backs out of it again. Lucas trying to hang on to it down there on the bottom. And John Holcomb in trouble. Phil give him a little bit of a tap. John tries to hang on to it just behind, and the yellow is out. Oh, what happened?
John Hine involved in that one. I'll have to take a look back to see what happened to John.
You know, I think John just lost it out there. It was close, but I don't think there was contact there with Loomis.
No, it looks like they went 3 wide for just a second, and I don't think John realized to the last moment and tried to overcorrect his turn and just spun him into the corner.
Oh boy, nobody wanted to see that. Not nobody, but J.R. Shepherd did not want to see that. Neither did Donnie Moore, and yeah, what we're seeing there on the replay is going to be what we call net code, folks. And that is your spin and your caution flag. The good news is we are going to get a chance to get this race restarted. Here as we come around, there'll be 8 laps left to go. when we get back to the start-finish line, and we will get restarted. They'll get one last chance, I think, to get going. If they get a quick caution, maybe one more chance after that. But, Lucas Stinziano is going to get stuck on the outside of this restart, Steven. And again, that is just not what he wanted to happen here. The podium position is at stake, and with not a lot of time left to go, fighting from the outside, probably not where he wanted to be to get restarted.
Yeah, I don't think Cinciano wanted that caution to come out, because he will be stuck on that high side, and he's got some pretty fast cars behind him with Donnie Moore, John Holcomb, and Philip Temples all back there, itching to gain another spot and get some more points here.
Well, this can end in tremendous jubilation and celebration, or it can end in tears for several drivers. We shall see. I believe someone just got the wave around there.
Yeah, Dustin Powers will get the wave around here.
Powers, who was a lap down, still have 11 cars fighting here for the finish of this race. Looks like we'll get restarted with maybe 6 to go here. I think they should go side by side here now with the lights out.
And you know, J.R. Shepherd had that pretty good sized lead before that caution. It's going to be interesting to see how his car reacts now as he's back in packed traffic.
Yes, sir. All right, it's going to be all about this restart. Lucas Stinziano probably want to come up alongside him a little bit more. Stinziano looking to play the game here. Pace car is in. Holcomb out like a rabbit, man. Woo. Donnie Moore gets on it quick, too. Stinziano stuck up top. Oh, Philip Temples gets him. Contact with Temples. Straighten it out, Phil.
More contact back there. J.J. Garrett makes contact.
That was a mess. That that was really, that's a shame it went that way. Stinziano not able to save it. Cars behind him, David Loomis, John Hine, all get caught up in that. And there's on board with J.J. Garrett, who just misses that, gets all the way under the dirt, gets it back on track. And there's John Holcomb spinning. He's got to slow down, does it without hitting John Holcomb.
Wow, what a ride by J.J. Garrett. You got to admit that he was able to avoid everything. I don't know how he pulled that off.
Man, boy, you know, with the run we got, that long green flag run we got, I just thought for certain we're going to get a green flag finish here tonight, but I don't think it was meant to be, because this time by right now we'll have 2 laps to go. And I just don't think we've got time to finish this one under green tonight, folks. But J.R. Shepherd put on a great show indeed. Came up from back of the field 6 spots. He is currently your leader. Donnie Moore sits there in second. Phil Temples up 9 spots tonight to third. John Holcomb with a great run. He is sitting there in fourth. And Lowell Jewell looks like it's going to get a top 5 run. He started fourth. About the best he could hope for.
You know, we talked about it before that previous caution came out. We had Lucas Stinziano up in second. After this caution, he has dropped all the way back to 9th.
All right, the white flag has been unfurled. The starter is in his stand with the white flag, and that means ain't much time left to go now. As we come out of turn 4, J.R. Shepherd is going to take another checkered flag here in the Bootleg Racing League's tonight's Outlaw 100 from Oxford Plains Speedway. Congratulations, J.R. Shepherd. Donnie Moore going to finish second. Philip Temples going to round out that podium. Philip Temples got himself all the way up to a podium spot. Moved up 9 spots to do it. Congratulations to your podium and the rest of the drivers who completed this race tonight. 11 of them. We're going to take a quick break. Come right on back with the results. Talk to a few of these guys and then close up shop for the night. Thanks for watching here on the Global Sim Racing Channel and iRacing Live. Welcome back to the Bootleg Racing League Outlaw 100 tonight from Oxford Plains Speedway here on the Global Sim Racing Channel on iRacing Live. That was a fast and furious 100 laps. Let's look at the results and blaze through those real quick. J.R. Shepherd, your big winner tonight. Donnie Moore comes back this week and finishes second after winning a couple weeks ago. Philip Temples with a podium finish here. He'll take third tonight. John Holcomb, Lawrence Towing, SK Modified, fourth. Lowell Jewell with a top 5 run tonight. J.J. Garrett comes back after making a mistake and finishing 6th there. Not bad. Brandon Limecooler, the newcomer, 7th. Dustin Powers, 8th. Lucas Denziano, man, boy, I feel your pain, buddy. I feel your pain. The podium was yours, and it was taken away there at the end. Sorry, man. 10th, going to go to John Hines, Stephen. And I'll finish these out real quick. 11th, David Loomis. Brian Barden, though, and Mike Holloway, unfortunately, do not finish this race. Trouble early takes them out. Let's talk to the winner of this race, J.R. Shepherd. Another win in the Bootleg Racing League here in the SK Modified Series. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, Sean. Man, that was a great race tonight. Slick track, and with that fixed setup, the rear end definitely wanted to start coming around toward the end there. But hey, I want to give a shout out to Lucas Stenziano there, man. He ran me pretty clean when I was making that pass, and I think a lesser driver would have definitely gotten loose and ran into me there. So good job by him.
You know, I honestly didn't think you were going to complete that pass on him. I was like, you know, Lucas is looking pretty fast tonight, and I don't know if JR's got enough to get around it. Really passing on the outside here, probably about as tough as it gets, don't you think?
Yeah, I kind of made my bed there when Lucas got loose, and I jumped to the outside. I knew that I had to make something happen, or I was gonna go straight to the back. So I was overdriving the car for sure, trying to get any kind of grip that I could find at all, and I think Lucas just got a little bit loose there, and it allowed me to get on by.
Yeah, and boy, that number 11, J.J. Garrett, he was a factor there until he made his little mistake. He was really coming up through the field quite well also.
Yes, he was. I saw him behind me there when I was racing with Lucas, and I knew it was time to go for sure, or I was going to start getting the chrome horn from behind. So, yeah, I definitely started racing Lucas pretty hard, and he got loose that one time, so I jumped to the outside, and like you said, I thought that was over at that point. I thought I was going to the back, but yeah, things worked out, so awesome night.
Well, sir, congratulations. Always a blast to talk to you. We will see you next week when we do this all over again on a Saturday night.
Hey, sounds great, Sean. I want to give a shout out to the Bootleg Racing League for putting this on. It's great for allowing us to do this each and every week. To Lowell Jewell and everything that he does, and of course to you guys. You do a fantastic broadcast, guys. Hey,
thank you, JR. We appreciate you too, buddy. We shall talk to you soon. That was J.R. Shepherd, driver of the number 98 SK Modified. What a run by him. Donnie Moore, great run this evening. Steven, you've caught up with him.
Yeah, we got Donnie Moore here, and we talked about it in the pre-race show. Was this Donnie Moore's season to win? And after a first and second, you got to be feeling pretty happy.
Lucky to get a second there. That last yellow flag saved me. Because Lucas had to start on the outside. Boy, hats off to him. Good run by Lucas, and of course, good win by JR.
Now, before that, the caution that kind of put Lucas on that outside line, we saw you battling with him, and we kind of saw you tap him a couple times. Were you trying to get the message to him to, hey, I want to get through here. I'm running a little bit quicker.
Well, you want to tap him a little, but I mean, like he even said after the race, I mean, you expect it. It's a little bump, and I didn't want to go overboard, but he hung tough, and he ran a real good race, and he probably would have got second without that last caution. I'm sure he would have.
Now, next week, you guys do kind of switch it up. It's Myrtle Beach, a newer track here. Are you kind of prepared for that track? You looking forward to it?
I'll tell you if I'm looking forward to it after the race. I don't know. No, I ran a couple laps there. It's, what is it, half a mile? So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Well, hats off to Lowell and you guys for doing this. And hey, if you can, go to your animal shelter and adopt a pet. If you can't do that, throw them a few bucks.
Well, congrats, Donnie Moore, on your second place finish, and we hope to talk to you next weekend when Bootleg Racing comes back on. And now we'll talk to Philip Temples with Sean.
Phil, what a run tonight. You come up 9 spots. You get yourself on the podium. That late caution flag, that helped you out a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I hate the way it ended Lucas's night, the way that happened. I think I come up a little bit, and he come down a little bit, and we met in the middle. That was a bad scene, but it was a good run.
Yeah, it was. And, well, listen, it seems like you're starting to pick things up where you left off at the end of last season. Next week, we head to the newly minted Myrtle Beach. Are you excited?
Yeah, they better get some practice in on that one. That track's a little tough.
All right, well, what night we doing the practice session? Let me know. We'll all get together and we'll do it. We'll have some fun.
We need to try that this week sometime. I'll definitely hit you up.
Okay, that sounds good. Phil, anybody you'd like to thank for the big win tonight? Or the big win, the big podium finish?
I'd like to thank Lowell. I mean, this thing's really a blast, and couldn't we couldn't do it without him. So Lowell and of course family for letting me do this.
Yeah, Lowell with a big top 5 run tonight, and happy for him. Happy for you. Another good result. Get you in this championship fight, and we look forward to seeing you next week, buddy.
All right, man. Y'all have a good week.
You too, Phil. That was Phil Temples, the driver, the number 19 SK Modified. Steven, great race this evening. Any closing thoughts, my friend?
Well, I don't want to brag here, but I do think I called that. J.R. Shepherd coming away with that win.
We'll give you beginner's luck on that one, okay? Good job there, Steven. All right, listen, hey, we want to thank the Virtual Grip Network. Now, it is a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing. At virtualgrip.net, you can stay up to date on what's happening in iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Block Bond GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Virtual Grip Network, iRacing news and reports. Find them at virtualgrip.net or on Facebook. Type in Virtual Grip, all one word. You'll pull them up. Now, thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more series information about the Bootleg Racing League, try them on Facebook. You just type in Bootleg Racing League, all one word. You'll get them there. And then, of course, bootlegracingleague.com is where you'll find their wonderful website with lots of information. We will see you next week for GSRC's coverage from the newly minted Myrtle Beach Speedway. Myrtle Beach. Maybe too many syllables there. Myrtle Beach Speedway will be there with us at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, July the 15th. Now, for information about that and other things concerning GSRC, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook, Global Sim Racing Channel. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen now and that we use on our broadcasts. And always remember that original music you hear here on our broadcast is thanks to Erica Coleman, Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them. Finally, on behalf of my partner this evening, Stephen Parks, had a blast working with you, buddy. Our director, Joe Peak, and our camera artist, Dougie Beard. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. Now, I've put a lock on the gate. We're going to go have some fun storming the castle for Soup. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.